We begin with our main protagonist, Faye, in the pouring rain, seemingly in a battle against a horde of other fighters, and, despite his many injuries, he puts up a fair fight against the onslaught of men. His skills in martial arts and fast reaction time gain him the upper hand until he's eventually overwhelmed and knocked to the floor. In his days, he remembers his youth with his father. They ran an orphanage and tried their best to save lost children and won. Taking center stage are two gangs, the Black Tiger Gang and the North Sea Gang, both mobsters in their own right with many monopolies. In true mob fashion, they quickly replace their lowly grunts with desperate workers trying to make a living. Amongst the hierarchy of the Black Tiger Gang, there are three bosses that were introduced to North Evil: the Ruthless Guy, the Black Crow, the Gold Digger, and the Elderly Snake. As acting generals, Fee, often known as Little Fee, the pervs each have equal influence over the gang. Our protagonist has decided that he wants to be one of the gang's bosses. He's among a group of fighters known as the Daredevil Warriors. As longtime members of the gang, they're considered elite. They're called in to meet the head of the organization, Master Lee. A traitor who was caught is killed for his misdeeds in front of everyone. While everyone is flinching at this sight, Fee stands strong and unmoved, not afraid of death. Fee convinces him that Evil North is out to betray the gang. Fee drops the information on the vault to his brother, and a plan to rob the vault begins to unfold using spy techniques like hiding notes in the mouth of a fish and in the seams of a dress. The two groups coordinate their efforts. Fee's little side chick is also the one interacting directly with his childhood love, Chun, and the jealousy is palpable when Chun sees them together. Orchid takes advantage of Fee's mixed feelings about Chun and tries to convince him to give them up and focus on his pats at the top. I'm fairly certain she also just wants him to herself anyways. That night, the lowered number of guards finally lures out the missing head of the North Sea Gang. He tries to ambush Fee and Master Lee when they're seemingly alone, but the dude forgets their martial arts masters. Master Lee is shockingly young given his age and goes to work against the background fodder, while Fee goes one-on-one with the top honcho. The duel is fiercely contested, and Fee almost loses many times. It is only thanks to Master Lee's rapid intervention that Fee avoids a deadly blow and defeats the guy. He wants to spare him at first, but Master Lee kicks the sword into the man's abdomen and kills him. Now across town, the Orphan Gang is creating havoc. They set a bunch of buildings related to the Black Tiger Gang on fire and lure out the Black Crow. Many of the Black Tiger members try to stop Fiery, but he's no match for him, and he quickly gets to work killing the waves of fighters. With Black Crow separated from the rest of the gang, he's surrounded by Fee and his gang. Chun's parents were murdered by the Black Crow, and with the assistance of Fee, she finally exacts her vengeance and kills him. Meanwhile, Fiery may or may not be overcome by the assault of warriors. Chun and Fee have a little heart-to-heart, and Fee admits he has feelings for unfortunate timing, because when Fee returns and finds Fiery strung up and blooded, he's instructed to beat him up. But the commotion of the vault being raided draws their attention outside. Fee and Fiery take the opportunity to have one last conversation. Fiery has accepted his fate and knows that he must die in order to maintain Fee's cover. Their dream of freeing the slave trade must tea. Fee is deeply affected by Fiery's death as he recalls their time on the mountain together. It was only by chance that he was the one who infiltrated the gang. He could have just as easily been strung up and killed. The next day, Fee cries to Orchid about Fiery's death, questioning whether everything they've been doing is worth it. They were able to take the life of North Evil and elsewhere on one of Fee's escort missions. With the boss, he discovers the whereabouts of the 300 missing slaves. Completely unaware of his friend's death, Fee doesn't take the news well and demands a revolut. Fee is brought into the building, and he lights a couple of candles to set the mood with the intention of burning down the entire dock to set the people of the city free. Fee begins his epic fight to the death against Lee. All the fights end. Tense things fall from the ceiling, almost killing Fee, and he gets kicked into the fire that he shrugs off in probably one of the coolest ways possible.